he'll be playing Thursday night. That's probably the main thing, right?
Yes.
You're asking? Yeah, he will be playing.
I mean, I'm sure it's always unique game planning for division opponents, but when you're doing it on a short week like this, second time you're playing them this year, does it feel any different when you're preparing for this type of game?
It definitely feels different on a short week for any opponent. I like the fact that, you play a team that you have a little more familiarity with, but that's a two-edged sword too, because they have a lot of familiarity with us. So every game's different. Every game's unique. You just kind of take it as it comes, attack the circumstances as they present themselves, and that's what we try to do, and do our best. No, I think a lot of that has to do with how the game's going. Once we get into the game, we look at it certain ways going into the game right now, but we'll see how the game's going. You never know how it's going to play out. So I'm excited for all three phases of our team to play their best, play their hardest, and just see where it goes as the game goes on.
John, I know your internal conversations are the most important, but Marlon was telling us yesterday, he feels that Zach has taken some heat for player mistakes. What does that mean to see a leader on your team talk like that and take some accountability? And do you feel like things are going the right way based off last week to fix this secondary?
Well, I think it's a process through the whole season to get better at everything. There seems to be an expectation that you're going to be perfect at everything, every aspect of your game, from the first game to the last game to the end. And that seems to be the requirement, and it's just not reality. It's not reality in anything. We have a growth mindset. We don't have a fixed mindset. We understand that we can get better. We work hard to get better every single day and every single thing we do. And I know Marlon's speaking to that. Our guys are great about that. Coaches are great about that. So you face challenges, you face circumstances, and you meet them as you find them. You meet them where they're at. You meet your circumstances where they're at. That's what I was looking for. You meet your circumstances where they're at. I think that's pretty good. So that's what you continue to do, and you continue to try to grow, whether it's football or life or whatever. So that's what we're trying to do as a team, and I'm very confident in our guys doing that.
John, speaking of leaders, Roquan Smith is a guy, and probably one of the biggest leaders on the team. And as you've talked about, a guy that has not performed his very high standard. He's the first one to say that. What are the conversations that he's had, that you guys have had throughout the course of the season to try to elevate to that standard?
Well, we've had a lot of conversations. I mean, we talk all the time, every day. We talk about plays specifically. We talk about, I'm talking about plays in practice. We talk about in the meeting room. We talk about, how we're handling coverage or rush, or how we're handling a play. Those are all the little detailed conversations that you have all the time, because it's a complicated game. A lot of stuff happens, all around the league. I mean, it's just challenging. You're facing great plays and great players, and you're talking about it all the time. You also have some big picture conversations too, about how can we get better? What do we need to do? What are we missing? What are we doing well? With your leaders, you have those conversations. You saw me meeting out there with the leaders just now. We're talking about a scheduling thing for the next couple of days. So those are the type of conversations you have.
John, I'm sure you don't want to have some of the issues that the defense has had to this point in the season, but when you have the turnover, and especially you go to Zach Orr, who's in his first year as a play caller, was a learning curve kind of expected to a degree?
Well, I think we're all expected to have a learning curve, and everybody's, where they're at and what happens in your life, and you try to learn and grow and become the best you can be. I mean, so that's what we're doing. We're together as a team. I got a talented team. We have a talented group of people. We got talented coaches who work really hard. We have talented players who work really hard. That's what makes me happy. I'm full of joy every single day walking in this building. Now, still determined, still, it's a little pride always. I say a little pride is a lot of pride, doing things the right way and working hard and trying to do everything you can do to prove who you are, and that's what our guys do.
John, there's some uncertainty right now over T. Higgins' availability for Cincinnati. I know you respect, all the receivers on that team, but if he is healthy, if he is full go, just how much more difficult does he make that passing offense for Joe Burrow?
Well, yeah, I don't know the exact number, but it's definitely a factor. They've got some other guys too. I mean, this young number 80's doing a nice job too. But they got 81. He'll be ready, I guess. He'll be out there. So he's fast. But T. Higgins he's one of the top receivers in football.
John, breaking out the purple helmets. Any initial impression of how they look?
Yeah, I like them. I think they look good. What do you think?
I thought it looked better out there than the initial photos.
You know, everybody's a critic.
You asked my opinion.
I did. You're right. I asked your opinion. You're right. You're right. Appreciate it.
All right, everybody, we have one more thing.
Maybe Brandon Williams. Look how good this guy looks, man. Look at this guy right here. Oh, man, it's good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. Congratulations. I'm going to tell you what, when I saw him, small school player, big player at a small school, the things he could do athletically when we watched him on tape, when we watched him, and then we watched him in the workouts. And then he got here. He started doing backflips up and down the field, you know, as a 300-plus pound dominating defensive lineman. So all the great plays, all the pass rushes, all the runs, you know, all the interactions, the locker room leadership, the good-natured fun that you always had every day. That smile right there, that smile right there. But my favorite was, I was kind of into this. I was into this movie, you know, the Barnum and Bailey movie, The Greatest Showman. You know, I was into this movie, and that song, you know, they start hitting the boom, boom, boom. So I said, let's put that in practice. Some of you guys probably remember that, right? So that comes on there. He steps right out in front of everybody and starts singing the song word for word. Every single word, you know it. Belting it out perfectly.
Oh,
man.
yeah, it's my movie.
That's your movie.
It's my movie.
That's your movie. And this might have been the greatest showman that we ever had here in Baltimore. Congratulations on a great career, and even more so on an amazing family that you're raising. You're a great dad.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Wow. Feels surreal being back on the podium. You know, being back in Baltimore. You know, I haven't been back since when I left, and you know, coming back here is definitely bringing a lot of memories, a lot of memories, a lot of great times, a lot of just wars we've had on the field, wars we had with my teammates. I'm seeing just the people I've been around. It's been a wonderful, wonderful time, and you know, I'm just happy and proud to be retiring a Raven.
Yeah, I mean, Brandon, why did you want to come back here to kind of put a period on it?
This is where I started. You know, in the Bible, you know, Elijah was fed by the ravens. Then he was told to, you know, go off somewhere else. He had something better for him. And then I just wanted to come back and bring it full circle. You know, that's why I started this work. You know, gave me my, you know, my livelihood. You know, everything I've wanted. You know, Coach CB, you know, teaching me everything, blossomed me into the player I became. And I just wanted to come back here and just be in Baltimore for the rest of my life.
Did you ever think? I know you always had confidence in yourself, but to go from where you were from college to having that long of an NFL career, I mean, did you ever imagine something like that?
No, I've always dreamt of it. I've always wished and prayed for it, but just to actually have it happen and be here now, retiring, it seems like it went so quick. But I mean, I'm thankful. I'm blessed, definitely.
Brandon, when people see that picture right there and they think of you in a Ravens uniform, what do you hope that people take away? What's the one thing that you hope that they remember about you?
That he was authentic. You know, he gave it his all. You know, he was always real. When he came out, he was just who he was. He wasn't playing a show. He was just going out there, playing his game, and being who he was.
Brendan, you got here at a time where there's a lot of defensive veterans that, you know, future Pro Bowlers, Hall of Famers, all of that. How much did that shape you as a player? What you learned when you were a young player here around all that defensive talent?
It shaped me a lot, having Haloti, Chris Canty, Marcus Spears, you know, Arthur Jones, even, you know, Terrence Cody, just having those guys around me, seeing how they were being the pros, seeing how they took care of their body, how they took care of their health and all that stuff like that. It was just amazing just to add to the repertoire, add to, you know, my chest, and, you know, be able to kind of just give that back and just be exactly who I, you know, became to be.
Brandon, I know you've got a lot of memories here in Baltimore on and off the field. Is there any that stick out to you as kind of that sums up your time as a Raven?
I guess the locker room dance. The locker room dance. I mean, it was one of the dog days of training camp. Sis, we're about to go out, and I'm just like kind of lolling around a little bit, like, man, dude, it's hot outside. I want to go out. But then Sis started playing music, and I just started getting into my groove, feeling myself. And then Chris Canty had the camera, and then it happened. So I think that was the biggest time right there. That just kind of explains everything. Also, another time was the guy you got, carrying the ball for you now, Derrick Henry. I've always prided myself on stopping the run. I've always prided myself on making sure, get those 4th and shorts and all that stuff like that. And seeing him carry the ball for us now is amazing. But one time when I got after him in the backfield, that was a great moment because I've always prided myself on taking down the best running backs, and he's one of the best.
Did you get in the golf cart and crash into the tackling dummies one last time for a
No, but if it's out here though, I'm gonna get it done. I gotta see if Bashad can give me the keys.
Marina, so much of your life and identity does get wrapped up into football. Just what has this transition been like of putting that behind you, and what is next for you? What have you been up to the last couple of years?
It's definitely been kind of like a limbo period of time. Just mostly giving that time back to my kids, giving that time back to my family, just trying to get back with them, just letting them know Dad's here. I'm here, going to games, going to practices, going to horse equestrian therapy and all that stuff. My oldest son, he has special needs, so it's just being there for them and giving them all of me instead of just giving it all to the game.
Brandon, are you leaving the game with any regrets? Anything you wish you could have done differently?
No. I mean, it's been great to stay here, win a championship with my guys, but other than that, I don't regret anything I've been through. I don't regret anything I've done. I appreciate every moment that I've had here. It's been truly amazing career.
Pretty good. I'm good with
When you look back at that first Bengals game, you said the defense didn't do. What stands out to you about what just wasn't happening for you guys?
Yeah, I think it was just a lot of space and easy. It's too easy for them. I think Joe was pretty comfortable for the most part the whole game, and it's pretty dangerous when we let him get that comfortable. So communication, all that stuff, we improved on. Still got ways to go, but I'm excited to see what we go through.
He's coming off another 5 touchdown performance last week. Do you see them doing anything different, or how have you seen their offense grow in the last 5 weeks?
Yeah, I think they've gelled a lot together. I think 30's running hard for them. And I think they get that part of their game going, the offense becomes pretty lethal. So they've committed to the run a little bit, and also Joe's just been clicking with all the receivers. So yeah, it's a good team, good division matchup. I'm excited to play.
When they have that many weapons, is it more challenging preparing for them, or is it kind of just how the game unfolds, different wrinkles kind of happen each time you play?
Yeah, I think it's a little more challenging. There's more bases you have to cover, but I mean I feel like everybody's prepared to do so, and the coach prepared us to go out there and play well. And guys bought into the game plan, so especially Thursday, it's more about just who wants to go out there and play. So we can line up in the same call. Who wants to just go out there and hit, tackle, cover, and play.
Well, the NFL trade deadline isn't usually as flashy as in other leagues, but there's been more activity the last few years. Is that something that's talked about in this locker room? Is that something that you think about sort of like a benchmark to kind of pass once the trade deadline happens? People feel more relieved or more settled?
I wouldn't say so. I think it's kind of church and state, upstairs and downstairs. They're doing their thing, and we play football. So let them take care of whatever personnel stuff. Who's here is here. Who's not is not. We got to worry about that first and foremost rather than who we can trade for or something like that. I appreciate it.